Hello YouTube, this is DrawingKid1313 and welcome to part 4 of my mod spotlight series for Thaumcraft 2.1.6D. Yeah, it's part 4. In part 3 I showed you guys how to generate these, and in this part I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you some of the more advanced ways to distribute it, transport it, and store it. So before I do that, just like I've done in every other part, I'm going to tell you guys a few things about the mods that I'm using, and just some frequently asked questions by the people in the comment section of my videos, because I've been doing this for the whole spotlight, and it's really helped. It's decreased the amount of questions that I get saying, "What other mods are you using? What is that thing that gives you the recipes?" and all that stuff. So I keep doing it so that I don't get a million comments asking me the same question. So first things first is all the mods that I am using. You can see that I'm using more than just Thaumcraft, even from this stuff. And that would be the mods that I use in my Season 3 of my Let's Play series. If you want to know what mods I have, you can go ahead and check out that series. I'm on like episode 49 at this point. And in all my episodes I have a link to the forum post where I have installation guide and links to all the mod downloads that you can use and use these mods for yourself. The other thing is what I'm using here, the stuff that gives me items. I can give myself items, I can delete items, I can give myself recipes of items, and I can give myself uses of items, so like this, hold on. Uses. There we go. Give myself uses, and I can see all the recipes that involve obsidian. And that is NEI, not enough items. It's pretty awesome. Sorry, something just like slammed down in my house. I don't know what the hell it was. But anyway, it's pretty awesome. And yeah, but that's what I use, not enough items. Another thing is the level seed. You can see that I spawned like right over there, so the seed. It's right near a village, which is nice. That big hole isn't usually there, but I was playing around with explosives. But anyways, the seed is right there in case you want to check that out. And now we're done. So let's go ahead and move on to the mod, and let me show you how you transport some of your Vs. I guess before I show you how to transport it, I'm going to show you a better way to store it. What we used to do is we used to, burn up our items that go in here, travel through the pipes, and into these tanks that we have. These are V storage tanks, and they are pretty awesome, even though I believe that I mentioned in the last part that if you store too much taint in them, they explode and bad stuff happens. So what you should use instead of these is you should use these. These are thaumium reinforced tanks, and it's something that you get by researching the tainted objects in Thaumcraft. I went over researching in part 2, so you should go ahead and check that out if you don't know what I'm talking about. But as you're researching, you should eventually discover the thaumium reinforced tank. And it's pretty awesome. It stores twice the amount of Vis and taint as the regular tank does, and it also won't explode no matter how much taint you put inside it, which is awesome. So let me go ahead and just give myself a little bit of Vis, and we'll get to the next part, how to transport it. So what we used to do is you would just put everything in one tank, right? Put everything in one tank. And it would flow into our tank no matter what we said, no matter if we wanted it to or not. Alrighty? What if we don't really want it to flow into this tank until we say it should? For whatever reason, I don't know, but what if that's what we wanted to happen? Well, there's a pretty cool pipe. It's a different type of pipe, conduit. It's a different type of conduit other than just the regular ones. This is a Vis valve. And it's, pretty simple. It's a valve. And it will allow, or it won't allow, Vis to travel through it and taint, unless you tell it to. So let's go ahead and burn up a few items, and you can see that it's off. It's not lit up. Nothing is in it. Alrighty? Nothing's flowing through either, because nothing's going through. But if we were to right-click on this, Vis would be allowed to go through, and it would drain from here into here. If we didn't want it to drain anymore, we would go ahead and just turn it off, and it would stop. This also reacts to a redstone signal, so you can go ahead and grab yourself a lever, wherever it may be. And you can't put it on top of it, I don't think, but you can put it on a block next to it. Awesome. Alright, so that's, it's pretty neat, but all our Vs and Taint is being stored in the same tank. What if we wanted to separate it? That way it can be a little bit neater and we don't get any clogs, because the way that these conduits work is a little bit complicated. It has to do with suction instead of, it all just flows in one direction. It has to do with suction, so, a tank has a certain amount of suction that if it's too far away, it won't suck anything up from this thing right here. And, same with like any other machines. So what if we wanted to store our Vs and our Taint in separate places? Let's go ahead and do that. Put 2 right there, and then put 2 right here. So we're going to run our conduits along, and once we get to the center, we're going to use another type of valve. This is going to be an advanced Vs valve. Let's get ourselves 2 of these, and we're going to put 1 right there and 1 right there. So what these do is it allows you to control what type of Vs goes through, whether it be Vs or whether it be Taint, or in this case whether it be nothing. So you can see that there is Vs inside here, but nothing is traveling through because these are off. Let's go ahead and turn them on by right clicking. Now this is going to absorb all the Vs, so you're going to see all of these be depleted out of this tank right here. Awesome. And then if we wanted, we can turn this one to Taint. So you can see this is attracting all the Taint. We have nothing but Taint in this tank. And nothing but Vs in here. Awesome, right? So it allows you to control it. Like some machines in Thaumcraft only use Taint, so it would be kind of, ridiculous to store your Vs like close to that tank because you would only use Taint. And then, you can separate it all you want. By the way, the recipes for these both, the Vs valve is just 2 Vs conduits and a lever. And I believe this is something that you have to research, so you don't get it right away. But the recipe is just like that, even though you won't be able to craft it if it is a researchable object until you discover it, of course. So what I have set up here is I have, the crucible right here. This is an upgraded one. And then down the line here, I have tanks. And usually what has happened is as soon as we burn up the items that we do in the crucible, they go right to the tank. Watch and see what happens while we put items in here. Ready? Nothing's happening. All the Vs is staying in here. Why is that? Well, it's because, as I said before, there's not enough suction to move the Vs from point A to point B. Because suction is measured in TCB. I don't know what it stands for. I thought it stands for Thaumic something. But anyways, the amount of TCB is, just think of it as suction. Alright, so a tank has 10 suction. So for every 1 block that it travels, that suction decreases by 1. And Vs won't move if there's a suction of 0, because, well, there's no reason to. So if we count here, we go 1, because it's 10 right here, that's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then right here is 0. So technically, if we had the crucible right there, it still wouldn't work because the suction is 0 at that point right there. See? Nothing. But if we were to move it closer by 1, it would be sucked and put into the tank. Alright? Now the easy way that you can figure out how much suction a certain point in your system has is you can research some more items and eventually you will obtain this thing right here. Goggles of Revealing. There's a few steps before. You have a Vs detector, Taint detector, and then you have a thermometer. And that doesn't actually tell you what the TCB is, so you have to get this. These are Goggles of Revealing, and the way that you put them on is you just put them on your head right there. You look awesome when you wear them. And when you look at anything that has Taint in it, it'll go ahead and tell you how much anything that has Vs or Taint in it, or anything that can hold it, it'll tell you how much Vs is in it, how much Taint is in it, and the TCB that it is, that it has at that certain point. So right here we have like 37 Vs, 19 Taint, and we have 10 Vs TCB. Like I said, for each one block that you move over, it decreases by 1. So right here we have 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then right here it would be 0. And over here it's still 0, because why wouldn't it be? So there are a few different ways that you can solve this, because obviously you're not always going to want to have your creation of Taint and Vs and your storage of Taint and Vs in the same room. Maybe you want to have like one room dedicated to burning up items and generating Vs, and then you want to have another room dedicated to storage. So what you can do is you can use one of two things. Right here we have an arcane bellows, and it's pretty simple. The recipe for it is some iron ingots, a enchanted wood, leather, and vaporous crystal. It has to be vaporous crystal, by the way. And when you put it next to a machine, it's going to go ahead and it's going to start pumping like that. And what you can notice is this has a TCB of 10. So it kind of gets added to the thing that it is attached to. So now this has 20 V's TCB and 20 Taint TCB. And you can see that by the time we get all the way down here, it's no longer 0. It's 2. So awesome. Another thing that you can do, and you can put multiple ones of these on. Hold on. Let me get myself multiple ones. Somewhere. Right here. Alright, so you can put like one right there, one right there, one right there, and now this has 40 V's TCB, so it could be up to 40 blocks away from any generation that it may have. Another thing that you can do is it's kind of like an upgrade, because this has to be attached to the thing that you want it to go. If you have it attached to, just a regular pipe, so let's say that I had it, attached to this pipe right here. All of these is going to go to this pipe. It's not going to go, well, I guess, maybe right there it may, but right here, it's not going to go past this point. Alright, if it's going from here all the way over to there, it's not going to go past, because this has a TCB of 9, because of these two, and then right here it's only a TCB of 8, so they're not going to want to go in this direction because it's higher over here. Or, yeah, they're not going to want to go in this direction because it's higher right here. So what you can do if you wanted it inline is you can kind of upgrade it, and you can go ahead and get the V's pump. A V's pump is crafted with an arcane bellows, an aqueous crystal, I think it has to be an aqueous crystal, V's conduits, and some enchanted wood. Put those together, you get a V's pump, and when placed down, it looks like that. Alright, simple enough, right? The way that this thing is facing that looks like it's pumping is where it's going to be pulling from. Alright, so you can see that, right here it's only 5 V's TCB, but on this side it's a lot higher, so it's pulling from this side. Alright, and it's kind of directional, it faces whatever way, that's not what I wanted. It faces whatever way your character is facing when you use it, so it's facing this way, it's going to pull from the opposite direction that I was facing. So it's right there, right there, right there, alright. It could also be placed like that, and it can also be placed like upside down, like so. Oops, a little bit difficult though. There we go, see? So it can be placed in all different directions, and basically, it'll pull it from one and then spit it out the other side. So now when we put our diamonds in here, they're no longer the V's is no longer going to just stay in this pipe or in the crucible. It's going to be pumped thanks to this thing, and it's going to be pumped out because this has enough suction to get it from this point to that point. Alrighty. Now you can also use this. Let's say that you had some tanks right here. Let's say that you wanted to store some stuff in these tanks. Well, it's not going to go in here because the suction is greater over here and it's greater over there. So what you could do if you want to transport it from tank to tank is you can either put a bellows on here, or, oops, faced the wrong way, or you can use a V's pump, and it'll go ahead and pump it from there and put it into there. Awesome, right? And by the way, something really quick that I forgot to mention. The way that these V's valves work is basically they only have the TCB of the type of V's or Taint that they want. So if they want Taint, because you can see that there's two different types of TCB, Taint and V's. So right here, saying that it has 10 Taint or 10 V's TCB and 0 Taint, so that means that it's not going to attract any Taint, so it won't let it pass through here. If I switch to Taint, it says it has 10 Taint TCB. So that's basically how it works. But other than that, I believe that's pretty much it for this segment of the Thaumcraft showcase. Showed you a few things, some good ways to transport your beast and move it from point A to point B, some ways to organize it because organization is always nice and makes for a beautiful setup. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. Of course, there's still a lot to explain in the mod, and in my next part, I may start showing you some of the machines that use these, because now that you know how to create it and manage it, it's time to start using it and having some fun. So I hope that you have enjoyed this part. If you have, please help me out by leaving a like or commenting saying that you enjoyed. It really helps me out and makes me feel better about myself. And other than that, that's pretty much all I can think of. Just thank you for watching, and I hope you join me for the next part. Until then, I will see you.